You know this feeling when you're waiting for something for so freaking long, like you wait for months and years, so you build up your expectations for this something so high that they are becoming pretty much unrealistic. And when this something is getting closer, you start to doubt yourself. You tell yourself like, there is no way in hell this thing is gonna be as amazing as I want it to be. And usually you're right. Like, it doesn't happen that much. Then when you have so high expectations, they are actually true. Usually you say something like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not something I wanted. But if you are lucky enough, you're gonna have a couple of moments in life when something that you were waiting for is even better than your highest possible expectations. And this is why we're gonna talk today about Arcane Season 2. I don't know about you, but the closer I got to November 9, I had this fear getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, maybe it was a fluke, maybe it was just luck, maybe the creators has this, like one-time hit, and the second season is gonna ruin everything for me. Like, this is a possibility, obviously, and I was so afraid of it. And now, after watching the first 3 episodes of Season 2, I can 100% say with absolute confidence, it was not a fluke, it was not just a bit of luck. Those guys and girls know exactly what they are doing, and they are creating a masterpiece that will be remembered for future generations. So I just finished watching the 3rd episode about a half an hour ago. I'm still hyping and vibing, and I really want to share with you everything that I'm experiencing right now. It's kind of something that I have to do. It's not my usual format, but if I'm not gonna talk to somebody about this, I'm gonna probably explode. I have to ask you something. Have you been, for example, to Sixtine Chapel in the Vatican? Or maybe in Tongariro Park in New Zealand? Or maybe in such a beautiful place that you just had to stop and completely absorb it because you knew you're experiencing something special, you're experiencing beauty, you are in the presence of beauty, of something unbelievable, of some amazing achievement of human mind and heart. It's not like a machinery or a technology that makes our life better. It's obviously an amazing accomplishment. It's something that combines human genius, okay, and also human soul. So you have to experience and hold those moments and be with yourself in those moments. So for me, this is basically almost every 5 minutes while I'm watching Arcane. I'm talking about every shot made completely perfect. Every time I'm seeing some kind of a new setting, some kind of a new scene, I know I'm in the presence of real beauty, and it's not an empty beauty. You know this feeling like you meet a girl or you meet a guy, whomever's watching, and you see this amazing person, so beautiful, and then you start to talk to this person and you understand it's kind of completely empty inside. So you understand the concept of empty beauty, and then after you realize that you're not really too much invested in this person anymore. And what I love about Arcane is there is no single shot of empty beauty. Every time we are looking at something, it has an emotional charge in there. Like whatever scene we are looking at, if it's, Caitlyn sitting in this beautiful garden, it's emotionally charged with her loss of her mother. And there are many more scenes like that. I just want this video to be as less spoilery as possible. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to talk about some moments, but I don't want to share all of the moments, maybe in my future videos. So basically what I'm saying is everybody knows already that Fortiche Studios can do some freaking amazing shots. They know exactly how to work with animation, they know how to emphasize those colors. But they're not working alone, they're working with some very talented screenwriters. I mean, there are rumors, and not even rumors, that the whole 2-season Arcane show cost $250 million, and finally we can actually see where did the budget go. There's so much talent there, so much talent also that works together. It's impossible to dissect Arcane to different topics or categories. They all work together. Action helps animation, animation helps music, music helps action, and it's all working amazingly together, and this is why I call this show a masterpiece. No, I'm obviously not Schnee. I'm not even close. I have no idea how this guy does his amazing analysis, but I have to say a couple of words about this story. there is something that the creators of Arcane know exactly how to do, is to once again put so much information, whether it's informative or emotional, in very short period of time. Like in season 1, we have this fight between Echo and Jinx, and it's about 50 seconds length. But it has so much story behind it. You can see a whole life of those two characters, like focused on this 40 seconds of fight. And in this arc, we have the conversation between Jinx and Vi, when Vi is basically saying to Jinx that she never thought that her younger sister will be responsible for making new orphans. And then Jinx says, kind of jokingly, but with a lot of pain in her voice, that why not? I did it twice for myself. Once again, just one sentence, but obviously voiced by a very talented actress, Ella Purnell, but once again, just a couple of words, but so much emotional charge, so much emotional energy. You can once again feel a lot of pain, a lot of character of Jinx. You cannot really, brush it off. It hurts you emotionally while you watch this. And this is once again another sign of the masterpiece. If I would be a normal YouTuber, usually right now I would talk to you about everything that happened in 3 episodes, trying to summarize it. I don't think it's a good idea, actually, because once again, you need to experience everything there. Arcane is not just a story, even though it's a great story, but it's not the usual story in the sense of every movie and TV show we usually watch, where there's like something happens and because of that something else happened and because of that something else happens. If you are just retelling story like Arcane in that way, it's not gonna work. Maybe it is, but it's never gonna reach the same emotional weight like when you watch it, when you experiencing everything. It's almost like it's 4-5D, even though you're watching it in your usual TV. This is why I think it's so important for everyone to experience it on your TV screen, on your laptop, wherever you're watching it. But you have to experience all those components that I talked about working together, and otherwise you're not gonna probably feel the same way as I'm feeling right now. Now, what's really important for me regarding this story, the most important thing is I'm not a big fan of League of Legends. I try to play it, it's just not my jam. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. If you enjoy this game, good as for you, it's not for me, but I really love Arcane. And I was also a little bit afraid about, maybe season 2 is gonna be way more for the gamers, with a lot of references, with a lot of, things you cannot understand if you didn't play the game. And probably there are a lot of moments like that, a lot of Easter eggs that people are gonna enjoy, the people that know this lore and know this world, like way better than I do. But I'm so grateful that it's still a very self-sufficient show. You don't have to play the game in order to feel everything, in order to enjoy it for its full potential. Now, this was the most important thing for me, and I'm so happy that it didn't ruin this for season 2. What can you say about the action? Now, I enjoy usually animated action. In anime, in Japanese anime, it's usually over the top, like in Attack on Titan and so on and so on and so on. And I actually really enjoyed the grounded, fights, the MMA fights, the grappling, strangling, whatever fights there were in season 1. Like my favorite one is Vi versus Savika in Act 2, not in Act 3, where she already has the gauntlets. I loved, the cinematography, the way the camera moves there, the way the physics are actually, you can feel almost what happens on the screen. It's way more real than the real fights. So yeah, like obviously I miss this a little bit in season 2, because almost everybody has already some kind of a shtick, they have the shimmer, they have the magic, the arcane, they have the gauntlets, so on, so on, so on. So maybe this is why I was way more excited in the end of episode 1 when the Medadra forces arrived, because they didn't wield any magical force, they were just, like brutes with a lot of force, with a lot of experience in the field of battle. And it was interesting to see, just maybe even for a couple of seconds, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm waiting to see them even more in action. This all is not me saying that I don't enjoy the over-the-top battles, like with magic and explosion and so on. They are amazing. They're completely amazing, and I cannot get enough of them. I want more and more and more. Oh my god, can you please, somebody please make another couple of seasons of Arcane, because I really need this in my life. But still, I have to say, like, I hope we're gonna have some more grounded fights, you know, we can actually see experienced fighters showing to us what they really know. So maybe in Arc 2 and Arc 3, we'll wait and see. What do I mean by hype and music? I mean, there is already some kind of a joke that's running around the internet that Riot is basically a music company that sometimes does some video games just for fun. And it's kind of true already, because they know exactly how to make music and how to make some video clips that work with the music for 100%, 1,000,000% probably. So when I'm thinking about Arcane, and I'm thinking about emotions, I'm not only thinking about, you know, being sad because of Vi and Caitlyn, or, you know, like when Vander died in season 1, whatever. It's also very emotional, obviously, but this is something I can experience in also different TV shows, and many different TV shows. Now, the level of hype when you can barely even sit in your chair or in your sofa and you almost have to jump and scream, "Let's go!" This is something that not many can do like Arcane. And once again, an example, the end of episode 1, when Caitlyn enters this room, first of all being a complete boss, telling this stupid guy off, and then we have a very interesting rendition of Heavy is the Crown by Linkin Park. Together, this moment, seeing I'm talking and I have right now, you know, my skin is getting excited about it. How do you call it in English? I forgot the word, but I'm pretty sure I understand what I'm talking about. Like seeing Vi with the gauntlets, with the uniform of the enforcers, together with Caitlyn and this theme and this music. Once again, this animation, as I told you a couple of times already today, they all work together so good that I had to rewind this moment a couple of times and just rewatch it, because this is the strongest amount of hype levels I've experienced in probably 2 years. The last time I was watching Arcane, 2 years ago, when season 1 came out. I rewatched it a couple of more times. I think I watched season 1 about 5 or 6 times, because once again, I just really love this show. I have to say something, and it's not to take something from this TV show. I kind of miss a character like Silco. You know, maybe we're gonna get something similar in Act 2 and Act 3, because once again, in Act 1, in Season 1, Silco was far from my favorite character. But then getting to know him better, understanding his motivation, his pain, okay, his flaws, okay, he's still not a good character, like not a positive character. He's not a Captain America kind of guy. He's more of a Punisher kind of guy. I don't think he's one of the good guys, because he did a lot of horrible things, but his attitude of, you know, like whatever it takes for the freedom of my people, it's kind of something a little bit admirable. Yeah, there is something admirable about it, and he was extremely charismatic. Having those motivations is not enough. You also have to be freakishly charismatic, so everybody will believe that you can actually lead, you know, very angry people behind you towards a future goal. So Silco as a character, obviously not somebody I would want to live in my neighborhood, but also like a very interesting, engaging character. So hopefully we're gonna get some kind of an antagonist that's gonna be, you know, like at least will be able to fill Silco's shoes. Right now we're talking about, obviously, about Mel's mother. She looks like the main antagonist of this season. I don't know, yeah, she's an interesting character, she's a strong character, there is a lot there to watch and be interested about, but so far it kinda loses for me in comparison to Silco. Once again, it's not a negative comment, it's not saying like this TV show is bad or something. This is just basically me being honest with what I feel is a little bit missing. Other than that, wow, you know, I'm definitely gonna watch this probably a couple of days after. I hopefully will be able to find some interesting details, and maybe I'm gonna make a video about it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, this is not what I usually do here, because as you can hear, English is my third language, so I always try to compensate with a lot of interesting information, so people will be like, yeah, you know, like he has an accent, but he still has a lot of interesting information for us, so we're gonna listen. And this is just my emotions and my thoughts, and basically my feedback for the beginning of season 2. I was just super excited and I had to make this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. So feel free to do whatever you want, like you can like, subscribe, blah blah blah. And by the way, usually I start my videos with the thanks to all the Patreons and everybody who supports me financially, so kind of forgot to do it because once again I just had to talk about Arcane. I'm gonna use this moment to say thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon, on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thanks to your help, this channel exists and keeps doing some interesting videos, I hope. Anyway, I'm see you on the next one. Bye!